Yo, what's good guys? It's Theslykrow sneaking y'all in with another video, and we have just recently gotten another 13-minute presentation of Pokemon Legends Arceus. And not gonna lie guys, the first time they revealed it, and when I watched this on my phone, it definitely did look pretty promising. But on the second and third time I did watch it on a bigger screen, I did notice that, there's a lot of glaring issues with this game right now. And as it turns out, the community overall does have their gripes with the graphics of this game. And when I've looked at it the second and third time, I did notice that, some of the rock textures in specifically, they do look very blurry. And if you look at the trees themselves, like they look very muddy themselves. The leaves on the trees, it looks like it's like a half-dried paint that you're seeing on the screen, and it just looks very jarring on the gameplay that they've shown. And so if you take for instance this rocky landscape that they've shown near the beginning, it definitely looks very blurry and muddy with the landscape. And this next area with the trees and the rocks, they barely have any texture to them. And yo, these assets that they're using, they definitely look like they're pre-rendered assets. They look super jarring in this world. And it's just sad to see that GameFreak yet again is taking one step forward and two steps back with their development choices, and it's just really sad to see at this point. And so like I said before, a large part of the community is flaming this game for its graphics right now. If you look at the posts on Reddit, or if you look at some of the comments on YouTube, the overall gist of the arguments are that, the graphics could be looking a little bit cleaner, could be looking a bit better, especially if this is a console quality experience that you're getting on the Pokemon for the first time. It's definitely a low blow. And so I did want to go over this article by Paul Tazzi on Forbes, which is titled, "There is no excuse for Pokemon Legends Arceus looking this bad on the Switch." And so he goes on to say, while certain aspects look perfectly fine, the battle system, player customization, many of the animations, one thing has not changed since the game was first revealed: the graphics. The visuals look utterly terrible, like so dated this might as well be a GameCube title. Alright, listen buddy, that's a stretch that he's comparing this to the GameCube. Listen man, how about you go and play the GameCube right now and compare the two games? Like, it's a night and day difference. Like, I'll be honest with you, like these textures do look bad, but to compare it to a GameCube title, that's definitely a reach right there, bro. Alright, so he goes on to say, there are two halves to what's going on here with these absolute bare bone environments with comically low quality textures. Yeah, that I agree with you with that. At least part of this can be blamed on the Switch tech, as in the system is now almost 5 years old. You know what, like, to compare the tech, I don't think that's the case. I think what we should be doing is we should be blaming this on GameFreak, as GameFreak at this point, bro, they can't be compared to the likes of Capcom, Monolith Soft, Platinum Games, Atlas Games. They just can't be compared to the likes of other AAA game studios out there, as GameFreak still continues to make mediocre looking games. So now later on in this article, Paul Tazzi does actually take the blame on GameFreak, and he says, but I would say the majority of this is simply on GameFreak. Fans will say that they've never made a game at this style before, but in 2022, there's just no excuse for how poor this looks. And as many Switch fans will note, there are many other Switch games that look just fine or even good within the system's technical constraints. One common point of reference is the gorgeous art style of Breath of the Wild, doing the most with what the Switch has to work with thanks to its art direction. And yeah, so how about we go over some of the best looking games on the Switch so far, and you know, he definitely did make a good statement on Breath of the Wild. And I did want to note out Resident Evil Revelations 2 by Capcom. This game looked absolutely incredible as well, and it did output at 1080p 60 frames per second while playing docked, and that's just an incredible feat by Capcom. How about Astral Chain by Platinum Games? This was such a beautiful game as well. And also I want to give credit to the Dragon Quest XI S port. That looked really good as well. And games that just came out just recently, I did want to bring up Monster Hunter Rise. You know, Capcom did such a bang-on job bringing the RE engine on the Switch, and the programmers did such a fantastic job with that. Or how about Shin Megami Tensei 5 by Atlus, and the fact that also Persona 5 Strikers was a pretty decent port, or so I've heard, on the Switch. And Shin Megami Tensei, that game looked absolutely incredible. It's running on Unreal Engine 4, and that world is super detailed with amazing looking demon models and textures as well. So listen man, GameFreak, y'all need to get your act together. I do agree with Paul Tassi with his statements for the most part, but you know, GameFreak, y'all need to try to get some better developers on your squad. Looks like it's looking pretty rough for you right now. And listen man, consumers, y'all need to vote with your wallets. You can't keep giving GameFreak your dollars, your hard-earned money, and let them learn from this lesson, man. Hopefully their next games will be much better, as you know, Pokemon is still one of the highest grossing franchises, and we deserve better, man, for a AAA console quality Pokemon game. So yo, what are y'all thoughts, man? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like and hit the subscribe if you want to hear more Nintendo or other gaming related news. And this is your boy Theslykrow signing off. Catch y'all later. Peace.